Thomas is going to talk about, well, it's an interesting title, Losing My Resistance. Yes. Low resistance carbon inks, print production, perovskite cells and applications.
Thank you for the
Yes.
introduction. And so, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Thomas Baumeler. I am the CEO and founder of GraphEnergyTech. And so we are developing low resistivity carbon inks using graphene to boost the conductivity. And so today I'm going to talk about our first product with a particular focus on perovskite solar cells, which to some extent is also relevant to printed electronics. So maybe first, who we are. So we are a UK and Swiss startup. We are indeed developing these graphene-based conductive inks. And the idea for us is really to offer an alternative to the metal-based inks, especially to the silver inks, in order to reduce first the high costs that are related to silver inks, but also to some extent to improve the sustainability in the value chain. And so, long story short, we are developing the inks that you see there on the right-hand side, made of graphene, and we are looking to deploy the technology in solar and printed electronics. We have strong expertise in inks formulation and in solar particularly. And so that's the history and the background of the company. I was myself a PhD student with Michael Gretzel at EPFL, researching obviously on perovskite solar cells. And at the time, during the second half of my PhD, I was looking to find alternative to the metal electrodes for stability reasons. And so what happened, I got in touch with the University of Cambridge, and more precisely the Cambridge Graphene Center. So they were developing interesting graphene-based inks. And so we worked together. I adapted some of the graphene technology from Cambridge to match perovskite solar cells requirement. We got very good results, which prompted me to launch GraphEnergyTech following the successful defense of my PhD thesis. And so I'm a scientist by background, chemist by education. I have no knowledge whatsoever when it comes to business, or let's say I didn't have back in time. And so I surrounded myself also with Frontier IP, who are London-based venture builders. So that's us in a nutshell, really. And so what we are developing, as I mentioned, I think already 2 or 3 times, highly conductive, graphene-based inks. So the USP of the company is really around the conductivity of our carbon material compared to most of the carbon electrodes or carbon inks that you can find out there. Hopla, sorry. We are tremendously more conductive than the competition, about 10 times more conductive as of now for our developed formulation, continuously improving that. And so if you compare the cost of a carbon material compared to the cost of a silver material, I think it's quite obvious we are tremendously cheaper than silver. So based on 2024 costing of silver, our product at scale is 87% cheaper than silver inks. Also, we are not a metal-based technology, which makes us tremendously more sustainable because we don't rely on these nasty metal extraction processes to come up with our starting material. And so we are about 2 orders of magnitude more sustainable than silver inks or any metal-based inks, actually. What is interesting, we are developing inks. That's exactly what the solar industry are using, and to some extent also the printed electronic industry. They are using some metal inks to print electrodes. So we are looking to provide industries with a one-to-one replacement of their metal inks to a graphene-based ink. In terms of who we are, so that's us, the team at the moment. So we are 8 people, 5.4 full-time equivalent positions, so still a pretty small startup. I think that's maybe one of my, I'm sorry, it's jumping by itself. I think that's one of my biggest pride. I think that's a team we've built in a bit more than a year. And I think we have a very nice mix of young, enthusiastic scientists willing to change the world, such as myself, basically, and some more senior, experienced people, maybe more grounded people who have the experience in commercializing interesting technology. Also, we are supported by a quite strong advisory board. So we have Michael Gretzel, godfather of the perovskite research. Basically, we have